Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Deb's Corner. This is Deb here. So today we're making an easy pizza dough recipe. So we're gonna need bowls. I usually use 2 because it just helps, because 9 cups of flour, my dough tends to overflow. We need 3 cups of water, yeast, dry yeast. We need sea salt. You can use whatever salt you have. And also sugar. In this one, I'm using light brown sugar. You can use anything. I'm showing you my measuring utensils as well. You're gonna need a bunch. I'll list them below. You need olive oil or any type of oil and flour. So let's get into this. Let's move everything aside, move our water aside, and start with our flour. So we're gonna need 9 cups of flour. You can use whatever type of flour, well, not whatever, but all-purpose flour or double O. I usually like to level out my flours only to get the precise measurement, but you can use whatever you want, do whatever you want to do. So yeah, you can use double O flour. Double O flour is a finer grain of flour. It's good for making croissants and any types of bread. So we're gonna add the remaining 2 cups of flour because I just refilled my canister. So after flour, we're going to need our yeast. We're adding 1.5 tablespoons of dry yeast. So we'll put that in there. That helps the dough to rise. After that, we're going to add our sugar. I use light brown or dark brown sugar preference only because I like the color that it gives my dough. Again, you can use any type of sugar. Sugar and yeast go hand in hand. It helps the yeast do its job. So we're going to need 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, which is what I just added there. We're also going to need our oil. So I was stating here that I usually eyeball my oil. You're supposed to need 6 tablespoons, but I usually eyeball it because I make this all the time. So I know what 1 tablespoon of oil looks like in my dough recipe. So I eyeball it. But you don't have to use a measuring cup if you're not comfortable with it. So this is how it looks. Everything looks like. We're going to add our water, but first I just want to mix the dry ingredients with the oil. Make sure everything's kind of incorporated, right? Dig a hole in the middle and then I put my water. It makes things easier for me to mix. You don't have to do that, but it makes it easier for me to mix. So I do that. So let's go with mixing this dough. This is like a favorite. If you have kids, your kids will love playing with this. The texture is just great for kids. It's a bit messy, but if you have kids, why not, right? So we're mixing our dough. And once we're done mixing our dough, what I usually do, I split my dough into 2 bowls and then let it rise for 8 hours or more. So that's what I'm going to do here. Take it out of my hands and I'll divide it in 2 bowls. I'll show you what it looks like the next day. So it's the next day. As you can see, the dough has risen. I have 2 bowls. Like I said, I usually divide it. This is how it looks like. It smells great too. And this is how it looks like. It has holes there because the yeast has done its job. So I'm showing here how I put away my dough for the next 3 weeks. I usually just divide it into, this recipe calls for 9 bowls. So I divide it into 9 and then I store it in a Ziploc bag. I find that if you put a lot of dough in one Ziploc bag, it tends to overflow. So I usually do a maximum of 6 bowls in a gallon size Ziploc bag. So I put that in there, I store it in, and you should have, if you measure it correctly, because I usually make thin crust pizza, usually you should have 9 bowls of dough, this recipe, and this you have it. Until my next video. See you guys. Bye.